What's going on, Aquarius? Welcome to my channel, Alchemist. Justin here, and I hope you're having a fantastic week so far. So for those of you who are returning, welcome back, Soul Tribe. I appreciate your subscriptions, your likes, and shares. Your support really is just amazing, Aquarius, and it keeps us growing. And for those of you who are new, welcome. I'm happy Higher Self has brought you here. We are in for an amazing journey. So guess what, Aquarius? It is your general energy weekly spread. So I let everyone know you're my last one for this week's spread. And I have no rhyme or reason for these intros. I've just decided we're just going to go see where the energies lead us. So they may be low-key some days. They may be way over the top. So brace yourself there, Aquarius, so keep you on your toes. But this is a general energy weekly spread. And whenever you happen to come across this video, there may be some messages in here for you, Aquarius. But also, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one. So take what resonates with you. Leave the word salad with me and never force a reading on a situation, okay? So with all that being said, let's jump into it. Your space has been cleansed. Gems. Feeling lovely. Just great energy all around here, Aquarius. So before we jump into this thing, Aquarius, let me get myself together. Aquarius, I'm going to be pulling a few oracle cards, and we're going to get some tarot to get some details on these cards. But before we jump into the mix, these readings that I do, they're not gender-specific readings, so applying these energies to people as they make sense for your situations, okay? And then the decks that I'm working with, I've included links for them down in the description box below, so definitely check those out if you're curious there, Aquarius. I love it. So you got the second card of Taurus here, which is the tandem bicycle. And with this tandem bicycle, this is a card of synchronized, alliance, duo, partnership, unison, equality, collaboration, togetherness, simpatico, aligned, hookup, cooperation, harmony, help, loin, consensus, and two of a kind. And you know what, Aquarius? I mean, considering yours is a sign of networking, you're really the sign of humanitarianism. What a great energy, if you've been thinking about wanting to sync up with people as far as like do some co-creation, some collaborations, anything along those lines. This is, we've been talking about this. This is the stage really that I feel like Pluto in Aquarius is really trying to set up here and get you thinking about some of this stuff. And it doesn't have to necessarily just be in work, Aquarius. This could be maybe you want to get out and ride. Maybe you want to make more time to ride bikes more. Maybe you want to learn to ride a tandem bicycle and you need to find yourself a buddy to ride this thing with. Or maybe you want to just get outside more in general. Maybe, and this could be a thing I've been kind of the energy I've been talking about with that is like you could start maybe with like your family, maybe hitting up some friends, or maybe even want to go even bigger. Maybe start like a neighborhood thing, maybe getting out and about walking, or maybe start like a community garden or whatever that's looking like, Aquarius. This is just great energy for partnerships in any shape or form. Start a band, I mean, really, do some family activities. But, even thinking, let's get a little bit deeper, Aquarius, because this can be a great energy, too, just to get synced up with your higher self, spirit, source, however you connect to the source. Great time for you to get in alignment with your energies, really check in, do some spiritual work, some how are you doing? Mind, body, soul. How's those energies lined up? And if something's not feeling in alignment or there's some dissonance or something along those lines, let's restore harmony. Let's get that, let's work with our energies, Aquarius. Look at you. But let's get some tarot on this. And yeah, let's get some tarot and get some details on this, Aquarius. I love it, because who better? Because you got the Page of Swords in reverse here. And if you've been feeling stuck for ideas, maybe you've been wanting to, or maybe you had some ideas, or you may got some things floating off in your head and you're not sure how this is looking. One, write them down. Any ideas that you have, Aquarius. I'm serious. Just going forward, get like a notebook, have just like an idea, and anything that pops in your head, just write it down. And if you can find something to do with it, dope. But if not, save it, because who knows, you may come across across someone who you may get, you might be out on your neighborhood walk, for example. You might be just, just shooting the breeze, and then they happen to come up with a topic about that idea you had, and then look at that, we're brainstorming, we're cooking up some stuff here, and now you're that tandem, the energies are lining up, you're both on that tandem bicycle. So that's something to think about. Especially don't think that your ideas are ridiculous. The only crazy idea is the one that's not being implemented or written down or noted, anything along those lines. So Aquarius, absolutely. And if you've been feeling stuck with ideas, maybe we've been just stuck for a solution in life. Let's just leave it in life. Hit up someone who would understand, maybe find that person who, just would who would lend that compassionate ear, would be there to help bring yourself back in harmony, to kind of help gear. If our perspective has been kind of leaning towards the lower end of the vibration, how someone who can help bring us back into balance, and see this from maybe a different perspective. Because the pages, they really give me like energies of like a couple of them. This one gives me like the energy, like Gemini energy. And Gemini energy is very much about communication, sharing information, things along those lines. So that's something to think about, Aquarius. But I really do feel like that for some others, this can be a great energy as well, again, for really getting a better idea of who you are, of how you operate, of what you want to be, what you want to do, what stuff is resonating with you, what would bring you peace, what makes you, see how this girl is kind of like, woo, just like enjoying her. What would give you that sense of that sound effect, that feeling, and then working towards those things, really aligning your energies with what you want to do. So something to think about, Aquarius. I like that. All right. Let's see what else we got. Oh, come on. All right, let's see what we got here. Love it. Ten of Cups, Judgment. Love it. You got the Ten of Cups here, the Judgment, and then the King of Wands. Well, Ten of Cups and Judgment are upright, which is dope. And then King of Wands in reverse. You know what? That might be you right now, Aquarius, because I feel like really just kind of going back to what we were talking about with this idea of who you are, what would make you happy, really thinking about that, Aquarius, and really thinking about a game plan as far as like, what does that growth look like? What does that ascension, that expansion look like? You coming into the highest vibration of who you are. Really be thinking about that, start figuring out how we can start filling up some of those cups. But I'm also kind of getting like maybe, this, because Ten of Cups can kind of deal with like we can get in like a happy home, happy family type of deal, kind of getting romantic type of vibes. If we are, kind of looking for love and something along those lines, I feel like that this is great energy, considering we're in Taurus season. And depending on when you're watching this, we're in Taurus season, so this is a great energy too if we're thinking about dating, getting out there, things along those lines. This is a great energy to make sure that you're just being in the moment and really enjoying this, really vibing with this other person. You especially couple that with Venus being the planet, one of her aspects is love. Venus being in Gemini right now, great time for communication, for bouncing ideas, for really indulging in just like rich stories and really, hearing like experiences and just like all of this stuff, because you got the card, could this, just if we're thinking about that, I feel like, slow and steady, really indulging, like being in the moment, that's going to really pay off. I feel like where that's going to take that to the next level. But yeah, really, this is a great energy too. Just thinking about back to, even just going back to like that community thing. This could be something where you could, maybe you're feeling Ten of Cups, Aquarius, you just want to spread that around. You want to figure out, maybe you're thinking about how can you become a leader for your community, be an example for bringing in Ten of Cups. And maybe that's what we're trying to come into and we need to bounce some ideas off. I feel like don't If that's something that you're thinking, I'm gonna support that 100%. And if that's a passion of yours, don't let the idea of how big it is, get you down or deter you or keep you from at least giving this a try, because after the Judgment card, when we take those steps, it's the world, we're getting to the end of the cycle, and we're getting ready to start something new. So yeah, just something to think about with this energy. This can be a really great time for just syncing up together, partnering up, bouncing ideas, all of this stuff. So, alrighty, Aquarius. Let's get some. Let's hydrate and let's get another oracle on the mix. Interesting. Okay, you got the 5th card of Sagittarius here, which is the Yarn card. And this is a card of hassles, problems, big mess, interconnected, complicated, patience needed, future gains, work it out, made up story, many working components, mischief, and out of control. And you know what, Aquarius? If you're in a situation, or if you're in something, or if you find yourself in a situation where things have gotten out of control, where they really kind of have spiraled out to, where it's just become a big old mess, then I really feel like that don't be afraid to ask for help just with this tandem bicycle and whatever that's looking like, whomever that's looking like for you, if you know someone who can maybe help. Because when we get in yarn situations like this, like, I get where we want to, if we feel like, I feel like sometimes if we can't figure out a situation ourselves, then we'll instead of asking for help, we'll just beat ourselves up and be like, gosh, why can't you think of this? Like, come on, you can do, we like really try to push and like try to force ourselves. And that type of energy can definitely throw the King of Wands off, and keep him in reverse because this problem might be it might be more than just a one-person job, Aquarius. This might be a 2-man team, but it's if anything, you asking for help if a situation does get out of hand does not show weakness. That shows awareness, because this is just like, whoa, like, I need some other skills for this. Like, this is like, I need, who's got this, I feel like that's, when you look at it like that, I feel like that makes these hassles, these problems, that big mess, just not as big of a deal. It's just finding out, because maybe even if this person can't physically help you with like whatever the situation is, again, maybe they can at least help you get some ideas with how to do this thing. Sometimes even just like a fresh perspective can help you untangle this yarn mess, and remember too that these yarn situations are not meant to keep you down, Aquarius. If anything, let's talk back about with getting in line with ourselves. These situations here are there to strengthen that bond within you, because these moments here make us pause for a second and like ask ourselves, what can I do in this situation? What skills do I have? Higher self, help. What are we doing? And when we tune in like that and get interconnected, I feel like with ourselves, then all of the solutions will start coming to you, Aquarius. And I know that and be patient. Patience is needed. Sometimes, because when we're in this situation, if we get reactive, I'm just thinking too with where Mars is at. Mars will be in Cancer until the 19th, I want to say. Emotions can run hot. Cancer, my son's in Cancer. Cancer is, emotions can run hot if we're not mindful of this stuff, and we can take a big mess and even make it even bigger if we're in a reactive state. So pause, especially when you're in this, be present with it and pause and just think like, okay, this is what I'm feeling right now. These are what I'm experiencing. What can I do with this energy? How can I channel this energy constructively and build off of this? But let's get some more on this story. Absolutely, because I was just about to say, I feel like with the made up story here, the made up story would be that you can't handle it, that you can't see this thing to completion. And when you do, Aquarius, because you will get through this, and it might be tough at first. And don't forget how tough it was when you're celebrating and when you get through this thing, because when you get through that, you've ascended. That's judgment. That's how we do it. We rise, Pluto energy, because this is Pluto. Pluto's in your sign right now, and it's going to be in your sign for the next, it's setting the stage. You can and will complete this thing. We just got to figure out, just like I like this, this many working components. We got to figure out all the components to whatever situations that are happening, if there's something happening, and what situations when they come up in the future. Because listen, yarn situations are not going to stop happening, because if there's no challenges, then there's no growth. That's so see, this is how the energy works. But really, Aquarius, what can make those big messes into big wins is taking the moments when you start unraveling it. You don't even got to wait till you're getting finished. If you even just start noticing things are unraveling, that you're starting to get back in control, celebrate that, because that's going to keep that energy going, keep that momentum going. Because if we stay in a place of just like frantic and that's just what's going to keep going down. It's just going to be a hot old mess. But yeah, really, you got this, and you can complete this. Is it a matter, can we do this on our own, or is this something where we might need to ask for help, But either way, don't feel, because again, yours is a sign of humanitarianism. You are because Aquarius, bet if the roles were reversed, if someone you cared about was in a yarn situation, I bet you would do everything in your power to at least help it, even if it's just bouncing ideas off of stuff. You would be an ear to listen to. So know that there are others who want to do the same for you. It's a two-way street, and if we that's something too. If we feel like we don't have that strong support system, Aquarius, that's something we may want to look into. Maybe not to say that we got to cut off all of our friends, but maybe we're just like, maybe we need to establish some different type of boundaries. And so, maybe you know what I mean, Aquarius, just some deeper things to think about, but just on the off chance if that resonates with you. Let's get some more on this. And listen, I'm just looking at that, like, I'm just thinking, like, with situations, sometimes when we go to describe stuff, we're like, oh, it's the complicated situation. It's just like, don't doubt that for a second. Like, absolutely, life can be complicated, but that's beautiful. Thank goodness you have such a complex mind there, Aquarius, that you can figure this out, and that others who can help you figure this out, because you've been, you know what I'm trying to say, Aquarius. Let's see what other things you got here. Come on, Aquarius. I mean, this higher self is basically asking, if you need help, ask it. And I don't mean just like right now. I just mean in general. Just like if you ever found yourself in a place that is too much. Three of Cups. This can be a card of like, family, of reaching to those close to you. But this could also be a card of celebration as well, because really, it may not feel like it at these times, but these big messes, these problems, they're getting ready to, they're training you to become stronger. They're getting you towards that highest vibration. They're showing you that you can overcome adversity. And those are things to celebrate. And when we get in that mindset of just like, okay, this is getting me towards my 10 of Cups, because it is. It changes the whole narrative. It changes how when the next one comes around. If anything, we almost get to a place after a while when we realize how we can get through the whatever obstacles these are. you almost get to a place where you're like, oh man, I haven't gotten any growth in a while. Where's the yarn at? Let's cause a tower moment. That's where I feel like life is ultimately trying to get us to. Instead of like tower moments happening to us, we want to get to this place where we're making tower moments, when we're ready for growth, when we're ready for change, when it feels like things have gotten stagnant. Bam, I'm ready to change. Let's go do this thing. That's where I feel like these energies are ultimately trying to get us to, but we just have to learn those things. And something too with this energy, while you're going through these situations, Aquarius, this is Mercury in Cancer. And I feel like, make sure we're being kind to ourselves, that we're keeping our energies in kindness, because if we're being too tough, saying like, gosh, why can't you do any of this thing, blah, 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 you're bringing yourself down, you're lowering your vibration, and that's not the point. It's not conducive to your growth. So something to think about more. Let's see what else we have. All right, Aquarius, last couple bits here. Wow, three of Pentacles, Seven of Pentacles. Because Three of Pentacles, same type of stuff with the Three of Cups. If we need assistance now or in the future, ask for it. But I also feel like with this, Aquarius, just with the Seven of Pentacles popping up, that kind of added a little flavor, to different little flavor here, because I'm just thinking with the future gains in this card. If we have been at this place where we have felt like we've kind of plateaued, maybe things have we haven't had any sort of like opportunities for growth or anything along those lines. I feel like it's like looking at where we're investing our energies right now with the Seven of Pentacles. And if let's say, for example, if we've been at this job for a while and there's no, like, they're not going to offer any sort of like raises or promotions or anything like there's no way for you to further your skills, then it may be time to look for something else. And listen, this is not me necessarily saying, quit your job. Maybe you want to do something like a side hustle on the side. Maybe go part-time here and do something if you love that so much. Go part-time here and then do something on the side to kind of push yourself, kind of balance those energies out. But just something, if we're, be thinking about some future stuff too, and how we can get closer in alignment with ourselves and really build that and invest. And, Three of Pentacles as well can be about, quality work and, making sure that we're really taking this time and just asking ourselves, are all of our cups being filled? Is this are we satisfied with where life is? And then if not, let's find something, let's invest in some things that are going to bring us closer to that peace of mind, that harmony, all of that, Aquarius. Okay, let's get one more drink of tea here, then let's get your last oracle card. Oh, excuse me. Alrighty. I love it. One of your cards. You got the second card of Aquarius, which is the Labyrinth card. And with this card, this is a card of lost, delayed, complex, and then I just call you complex. Contemplate. Let me get my reading glasses on. It's complicated. Oh, it's still complicated. Going inward, spiritual quest, deliberation, long way home, problem to solve, catch-22, a situation to sort out. And so listen, Aquarius, like if we're in something, or if we get in something where it's like, the situation is complicated, like listen, we got to face it, whatever, any kind of adversities that come our way. Yes, they may be complicated, they might be this, but think about it like this, Aquarius, really, if your situation is complex, that just means you're just like, oh, the universe thinks like, oh, you're like, well, not even thinks, the universe knows that you're a genius, that you can solve this labyrinth. It may take some time, it might take some patience. I mean, one of your rulers is Saturn. Saturn is the planet of signs, of times, restrictions, limitations, things along those lines. But when you know how I talk about that, when we put in that work, Saturn rewards you handsomely, because Saturn, again, knows how brilliant you are, Aquarius. And you're not, when we think about these situations here, just even think of what that lost. It's not that you're lost or anything along those lines. You're on a self-discovery. That's what this journey is. This is learning our limit, learning what we're capable of and where we need to refine, where we want to grow, where we can increase the quality of our being. And just thinking with the spiritual quest going within, if we have something that really kind of gets us floored, Aquarius, and it's like really kind of challenging you to a sense of like judgment vibes, when we're like, because judgment can be, it's a little bit different, I feel like, than like your normal kind of like death card, like metamorphosis. Judgment is like, this is like, I mean, because when you think of Pluto, it's just like, it's different, it's like, it's a stronger ascension, this is like really coming into like getting closer to your higher self. When we're thinking about that type of stuff, you might need to go inward, ask yourself these big questions. How do I get out of this stuff? How did I get in this situation in the first place, and then figuring out what makes sense. And really, whatever this is, just think with the Seven of Pentacles. If we've been investing in something, or however the situation looks, and we're just noticing that we're not, what we've been focusing on in our journey hasn't been yielding the results that we want, and it's just creating more of a mess and things along those lines. And we got to figure out what to do. Go inward, ask ourselves these tough questions. How do we get out of this? Because King of Wands, this is how I like to look at him. He's like, he rules the first two decans of Sagittarius and the last of Scorpio. So I like to look at him as a Sagittarius with a Scorpio moon. And if there's something that Sagittarius is all about growth, they're ruled by Jupiter. And when you think of Scorpio energy, when it comes to their growth, their learning, they're coming to their higher selves, they're going to do that soul search, and they're going to ask themselves their tough questions. They're going to face judgment. And when you think about this stuff, Aquarius, just even think with the Judgment card. Don't judge yourself. This is not necessarily like a time to like. This is a time of analysis, a time of ascension, of rebirth. So, yeah, let's get some tarot on this, because that might be something too. Maybe some of us are on some type of, or might be thinking about going on like a spiritual quest. Maybe life has been kind of, it's been complicated, and that might be something, either if we're thinking about it, or you may want to think about it, maybe going on some kind of retreat, getting in a place where we can be with our energy, connect with yourself, really get in touch. Because what perfect energy, really with Taurus, with the energy being in Taurus right now, because Taurus is a very intuitive sign. They're very much deal with like the senses. And yeah, this is, let's see what we got here. Wow, I love this. So you got the Four of Pentacles in reverse, and then we have the Sun in reverse. And because this is like what? I think it's like second time you've gotten the Sun here. And if we've been asking ourselves these questions, been feeling lost, been feeling that we were not sure which way to go, let's shine some light on that stuff. Let's really sit down with ourselves and answer these big questions, because Aquarius, all the answers that you have for this maze, for these problems, everything, they're all within here. We just have to look into those reserves and tap into that stuff. What's been sapping your energy, leaching your reserves. The Four of Pentacles can be like a card of savings. I think of like because Pentacles can deal with like your finances, your health and things. And there's been something that's been like leeching away from any of those things, from your security, then let's get, and just like, and I mean security, your physical security, finances, health, all of that, your mental security, your spiritual security, any kind of happiness taken away from the sunlight, then we need to get eyes on that, figure out how we can get back to this place of going towards that sunlight again. But, channeling that, finding that bliss, getting that fulfillment. So, You really do. This, like I was just reading that there's a situation to sort out. You know, this. I really feel like, Aquarius, you know, don't feel like you can't overcome this situation. Okay, there's this situation, if you're in one, and in future situations, because it's going to lead you. It all has a purpose in the end. All of this stuff, you're exactly where you need to be on this on your journey at this time, and even if it doesn't feel right at this time, you know, like it's all going to make sense in the end. You know, it's patience, you know. And I know yeah, I know how that sounds. Believe me, I know how that sounds, but the sunlight, it all starts making sense in the long run. Mar. Okay. Let's see what else we have here, Aquarius. All right, Aquarius, last bit here. I love it. Queen of Cups, and let's what a strong finisher here, because with the Queen of Cups popping up in reverse here, when Queen of Cups pops up for me in reverse, this is a time to look back. This is a time of reflection. This is Cancer's card. And this because when Queen of Cups is in reverse, she's out of sorts. Something's really kind of thrown her off guard here, and she's, you know, when we think of, she may be kind of lost. You might be kind of feeling a lot of emotions right now, Aquarius. You know, with you may, if you're not feeling it right now, you know, if something comes up, we want to get eyes on that. If any type of emotions, especially if we're in something right now, just because, like I was saying, with Mars being in Cancer, this could potentially, you know, if we get caught up in these emotions and start being reactive, we can exacerbate a problem. But the Queen of Cups invites us to just pause, sit still, find a calm space and reflect on this, because she values all of her experiences, the high vibrations and the low vibrations, because they are a culmination of who she is. She wouldn't be who she is if it weren't for all of this stuff, because the adversities, they shaped those victories. They helped make her the winner, the queen that she is. So if something has got you, or if something gets you in a place where you're out of sorts, then really take this moment, pause, you know, even thinking Cancerian energy, you know, that kind of ties in with family and things. Talk to maybe some of those we feel okay being vulnerable with, you know, just discuss this thing, whatever. But, you know, just don't let this get in you. Don't let this situations, or any situation in the future, get you in a place where you feel like you can't overcome this stuff. You absolutely can, because you absolutely can, Aquarius. So I think I'm gonna leave that there. A little tough there, but you know what? You're tough, and you're just becoming stronger with these energies, you know. And I know that that may not feel great in the moment. You know, I know we really just want solutions really to problems, but it's all right here, you know. And we may not, and here's the thing, Aquarius, sometimes the answers, when we ask ourselves these things, we may not like the answers that we get, like how we might need to get through this situation. And if we don't, let's see if we can find some other things. But if we're find our backs are against the wall, like we're out of ideas, and like no one seems to provide a perspective, then we gotta take action. You know, we gotta own this thing. But I'm getting back into your reading. Give this a thumbs up, Aquarius, you know, just to let others know, just like help get the message around, like, hey, it's okay to feel like this. It's okay to feel like this, Aquarius, to feel like maybe a little out of sorts, a little like we're on a self-discovery, figure things out. We're all figuring it out, Aquarius. That's the beauty of it. And share this. Let everyone know that. Like, come on, this is, what better way to get on to synchronize with the energies, you know? Let others know, like, hey, we're all figuring this out. What are you doing to figure this out? Like, what's been working for you? Because who knows, someone else, a situation that might be impossible for you, another person might be, Aquarius, you can just do X, Y, and Z, and then, you know, vice versa. So, you know, work with this energy, Aquarius, and then subscribe. Tell all your friends to subscribe and hit those bell button to get notified when I release videos each week. And you know what? While you're going through this thing, be mindful of what you're telling yourself. Your mindset is in, especially I've been, all signs, but air signs, just because your thoughts become things. Your thoughts are powerful. And if we tell ourselves that we can't figure this stuff out, that we're, stuck, then that's what's going to happen. Because, the universe, it's kind of crappy, but the universe takes you at your word. And if that's the energy that you're putting out there, that's what's going to keep permeating until we change the narrative. You know what I mean? And it's not to say that you're staying stuck in this. It's just like we got to get eyes on it. And if we see that we're playing that narrative over and over again, you have the power to fix it. But it's like, get back into your reading, Aquarius, stop that. I've been on this app. We need to meditate. Because I've been on this app, meditation, Insight Timer for years, and it's a free app. And I created a group on there called Zodiacs Raising the Vibration. And it's just a place to drop positive affirmations, especially for situations like this. Mantras to help you get out of your head, to help you remember that, yes, the situation sucks, but I know how to rise above. I'm freaking king of wands, queen of cups all day, every day. So all that to say, it's a place to drop positive affirmations, encouraging messages, and then as the group grows, Queen of Cups and I were actually trying to figure out some stuff, some different meditation things, and it's a good old time, Aquarius. So, and all that information is called, again, Zodiacs Raising the Vibration on the app Insight Timer. It's all in the description box. And then lastly, if you got any Cancer in your placement, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, because you got a hot ticket here, Queen of Cups, come on over to my other channel, The Sheridan Friends. Do videos Monday through Friday there. We geek out over the Queen of Cups, discuss lunar shenanigans. It's a good old time. And all that housekeeping down in the description box below. But let me get your surprise cards. Here's Aquarius, so I can get you out of here and get you moving forward. Because with the Six of Cups being in reverse, that's your surprise card here. And let's talk about that while we get your Oracle card. Because the Six of Cups being in reverse, this can be a card of being stuck. I feel like you're being stuck in almost even just past ways of operating. Thinking that we can't get over these things. It can be a card of nostalgia too. We can get to think, when we feel lost, we might get, let me get myself together. This can be where we just don't want to get stuck. And we also, with the Six of Cups, it starts teetering, especially with it being in reverse. We start teetering on in escapism type of realm here. Because when we stay stuck in the past, think about the good old days and, wanting to feel that old light. Sometimes we may turn to distractions and things, vices, however that might, let me actually start shuffling, vices and things. So we just want to be mindful of that and realize too, with the Six of Cups, this life thing is just you're gaining experience. We all start as a little child, and then as we learn and grow and meet these adversities, they get easier. We get seasoned, we become experts at this and become wise. But we gotta move. We can't stay stuck in the past. We have to create new experiences. And the Six of Cups can also be, for me too, a card of sharing these experiences, letting others know hey, I've been feeling kind of stuck. And what can I do to get out of that? Because then now you got the Protect card in reverse. And, I feel like with that card, really, when I say protect your mind, just be aware of if you notice that you're getting stuck, where if you start getting a narrative, a narrative that's lowering your vibration. We just want to make sure that we have eyes on that, so that we can get out of this rut, so that we can go towards that sunshine. But no, it might take some time, Aquarius, getting to the sunlight. But know that every day that you are working towards that is a cause for celebration. And take each moment to do that, before you go to bed or anything along those lines. Way to bring it today. You brought it 100, and however that looked. It don't matter if you actually, if we made any noticeable progress or not. You may not have noticed it, but you got up. You got up and you tackled the day. So that to me, winner all day. And remember that, winner all day. Heard me? All right, I think I'm gonna leave that there, Aquarius. But you stay safe out there. and raise your vibration. You know, really like focus on that. You know, there's the only with that made up story, the only challenge that you can't rise up to or that you can't overcome are the ones that we tell ourselves that we can't overcome. If you convince yourself that it's true, then so it shall be. But that's a nice little double-edged sword, because when you know that you'll get through this, look at you coming through. So, and I will catch you on the next one. Those have been getting ridiculous too. Later.